Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to That Med Life. And it's been 5 weeks since I started medical school. I'm doing really well. I didn't post a video last week because I had 4 back-to-back exams, and I'll talk about those later. If you are just tuning in to That Med Life, nice to meet you. I'm Joseph, and on That Med Life, you're going to find everything from documentary-style footage on the life of a real medical student at an MD program in the Midwest. Also, I'd like to cover topics that I think are of value to all of you watching. For example, I'll be going over tips and tricks on getting into medical school, how to study well, and also how to apply to medical school, how to take the MCAT. All of this stuff will be covered at some time in the future. So if you're interested in these topics, please stay tuned, and thank you for watching That Med Life. So welcome back, guys. Tonight I am going to do a real quick video on how to apply to a medical school through the AMCAS application. So the first thing I wanted to outline for you guys is a application timeline. If you don't know what that is, basically it's just making sure that you have all of the right things in place and in time so that you can do very well on them, complete them, and make sure that you get any feedback that you require so that you can put your best foot forward in the application process. So in this video, I'm just going to go over the timeline. It shouldn't go very long, and I just want to let you guys know how that works. So what you want to do is preferably start thinking about applying a year to a year and a half before you actually have to submit your application. So 18 to 12 months before you actually start using the AMCAS application, you're going to want to plan your recommendation letters and ask for any recommendation letters that you're going to want well in advance. So this would be the time to start planning that or actually ask for the letters. And for example, professors teaching your upcoming courses or supervisors leading certain volunteer activities and programs that you're participating in, or healthcare professionals that you're working with at this time. These are the people that you want to hold as prospects, and you may or may not ask them for a letter of recommendation. So that's about 18 to 12 months before you actually apply to medical school. And then 12 to 6 months before you apply to medical school, you're going to want to start writing your personal statement. So the personal statement is extremely critical, and you need to do very well on it. Don't underestimate this small but special body of literature. It's your own unique composition, and it's really the only way that you're going to be able to convey yourself in a non-abstract manner. Although you can do it in an abstract way. But anyways, 12 to 6 months before you apply, you need to start working on your personal statement. The prompt for the AMCAS application is basically the same every year. You can Google it. It's not very hard. And you start brainstorming ideas for this essay and start writing. You need to start writing immediately. So, that's how you end up with very good literature. You write. And it's always better to have too much stuff and have to cut out things than to be starved for words and you have no material to work with. So that's what you want to do for 12 to 6 months before you apply to medical school. So start writing now. Start brainstorming. Start writing now. So this is very, very imperative for your success. And then 6 to 3 months before you apply to medical school, This is really contingent on your current relationships with your prospective letter writers. So you either are going to ask for letters 6 months ahead of time, and if you feel that the relationship still needs a little bit of nurturing, then perhaps you'll work on it for 3 months, doing intentional things, and then ask for your letters of recommendation 3 months ahead of time. And that's probably the minimal amount of time that you want to ask for a recommendation letter. It's 3 months in advance. So just ask for the letter no less than 3 months in advance. And then 1 month before you actually apply, the AMCAS opens early so that you can start inputting all of your data. So there's going to be everything ranging from your demographics, stuff about your family, your metrics for your GPA and MCAT, and then excruciatingly painful is the chronological transcript input. So that takes a while. You need to plan for that. You also need to upload your personal statement, and you need to designate your letter writers. So it's good to start this process immediately when the AMCAS opens. So you can log on, you can get your ID number, you can start filling out the application. It's not going to actually even be able to be submitted for a month later. So this is what you want to be doing a month before you apply to medical school. You want to be on AMCAS, putting in all the little minutia that you need to make sure your application is complete, and read all the prompts. Take a lot of time to do this. Your application is basically the only lens that someone can look through to figure out whether you're fit to go to medical school. So you don't want to underestimate this application and spend all the extra time. Any extra time you have, you should be making sure that your application is pristine. You want every single thing that you say or write to be impeccable in intonation and grammar. All of these things matter. So make sure that you allot that time. And that's what you're going to do for 1 month prior to actually applying to medical school through the AMCAS. And then you wait. So after a month has passed, then you actually submit your application. The application that you've been working on, you read through it at least a few times to make sure there's no errors. Even have someone else that you know read through it, and preferably someone who has a very good and professional experience in English writing and literature. That would be recommended. But anyways, that's what you want to do. So once that month is done, you put it together, and then make sure you submit your application, if at all possible, on the first day possible. You want to submit it that first day, because there's going to be thousands of people sending their application into AMCAS, and it can take around 2 weeks to become verified, which means that you need to have all the schools looking at your application as soon as possible, because as time goes on in the application cycle, seats are given to applicants, and your chance for gaining a seat into medical school drops precipitously as the season wears on. So that's the timeline. I'm going to go into more detail on each of those subjects, as far as getting your recommendation letters, actually writing your personal statement, and then designating your schools and how many schools you need to apply to have a statistical advantage. And that's all coming up in future videos. Thank you for watching That Med Life, and I hope that you learned a lot from this video. If you have any questions, you have any thoughts or concerns, please leave them below in the comments section. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. I am extremely busy right now with medical school, but I will try my best. And thank you for tuning in to That Med Life. Good night.